The relationship between India and Pakistan is one of the most complex in South Asia. The hostile relations between these two major South Asian countries have been going on for decades, and there seems to be no sign of stopping. When Britain withdrew from India in 1947, this colonial power left behind a legacy of careless or arbitrarily divided borders. Dangerous confrontations in Kashmir, followed by retaliatory attacks by Indian and Pakistani fighters, have put the two nuclear powers on the brink of a catastrophic confrontation. Not only facing each other in border hotspots, these two countries are also rivals in the defense industry. Their competitive instincts have led to two notable fighters development programs, India's Tejas and Pakistan's JF-17. These fighters have attracted the special attention of military and aviation enthusiasts because they are more likely to actually fight each other in real combat. The two countries' indigenous single-engine fighter programs are developed to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers, cut costs, and promote the development of the domestic defense industry and technology accumulation. Tejas and JF-17 both developed with foreign assistance to varying degrees. The JF-17 Thunder fighter, also known as the FC-1 Xiaolong, was developed by the Pakistan Aeronautical Complex in cooperation with the China's Aviation Industry Corporation of China. The JF-17 Thunder is a lightweight, single-engine, multi-role fighter. It can be used for aerial reconnaissance, ground attack, and aircraft interception. The JF-17 was primarily developed to meet the Pakistan Air Force requirements for an affordable, modern, multi-role combat aircraft as a replacement for its last squadron of Dassault Mirage 3 fighters, Nanchang A-5 bombers, and Chengdu F-7 interceptors. For China, JF-17 Thunder multi-role fighter is one of the country's most successful aerospace exports, has the potential to be a cost-effective and competitive alternative to more expensive Western fighters. For Indian Tejas, this is also a single-engine, light fighter that India has undergone more than 3 decades of research and development. The Tejas was developed which sought a replacement for the hundreds of MiG-21 fighters nearing the end of their service lives in the Indian Air Force. The program is designated as light combat aircraft with HAL as the main contractor. Starting in the 1980s of the last century, but due to many difficulties, the program was much longer than expected. It was not until 2001 that the Tejas prototype successfully made its first flight. Tejas is based on a variety of foreign-sourced components, including an Israeli Doppler radar and General Electric F404 turbofan engines. That is also why it took many decades for HAL to put them all together. At the Bahrain International Air Show in January 2016, both the Tejas and the JF-17 were present to literally pit against each other, as they share parking space on the flyline tarmac right next to each other. It appeared to be a move at the political level, placing Tejas as a future export option and directly competing with the JF-17 in the international market. Tejas has a tailless compound delta-wing configuration with a single dorsal fin. This provides better high alpha performance characteristics than conventional wing designs. It integrates technologies such as relaxed disc stability, fly-by-wire flight control system, multi-role radar, integrated digital avionics system, and composite material structures. For Pakistan's JF-17, the airframe is a semi-monocoque structure constructed primarily of aluminum alloys. The mid-mounted wings are of curved delta configuration. near the wing root or the leading edge root extension, which generate a vortex that provides extra lift to the wing at high angles of attack encounter during combat maneuvers. A conventional triplane impedance arrangement is incorporated. The JF-17's designers have proven adept at keeping up with the times following its entry into service. Block 2 JF-17s introduced a multitude of new capabilities and upgrades, including composites in airframe for reduced weight, air-to-air refueling, a full fly-by-wire system, and a better radar. The two fighters have similar empty weights and maximum takeoff weights. Indian aircraft were 6.5 tons and 13.5 tons, while that of Pakistan is 6.5 tons and 12.7 tons respectively. They are the smallest and lightest modern supersonic fighter jets. Tejas is powered by a General Electric F404 GEIN-20 turbofan engine with full authority digital engine control. This engine provides a drive thrust of 53.9 kN and up to 90 kN with afterburner. It can fly at a maximum speed of Mach 1.8 and maximum altitude of 15,000 meters. The range of the aircraft is 1,750 km with drop tanks. JF-17 is equipped with a Klimov RD-93 afterburning turbofan, creating a drive thrust of 50.4 kN and 85.6 kN thrust with afterburner, making the aircraft can fly at the maximum speed of Mach 1.6. The range and service ceiling of the aircraft are 2,500 km and 16,500 meters, respectively. In theory, Tejas will prevail in close-range dogfights. It has better agility and maneuverability, mainly due to its unstable body, which gives it high maneuverability. Compound delta-wing configuration is more efficient in dogfights compared to sweep wings. Tejas also has a greater maximum takeoff weight than the JF-17, meaning it can carry more fuel and weapons. Tejas is also faster, topping out at Mach 1.8 versus JF-17 Mach 1.6, while JF-17 has an advantage in altitude over Tejas. In terms of technology, Tejas is considered to be better than the JF-17. Although both aircraft are equipped with equivalent avionics, Tejas avionics is better than the JF-17, as there are many components originating from Israel, Russia, France. Their hardware is always considered to be better than Chinese hardware. On the other hand, in the case of the JF-17, all aviation electronics are of Chinese origin, so the management, maintenance, and integration are easy. That is also Tejas' weakness, due to the use of hardware from different countries and suppliers. It's a nightmare to manage, maintain, and integrate them, and that's part of the reason it took India decades to develop. Tejas is also equipped with a helmet-mounted display and sight, which is useful for melee combat and navigation. The JF-17 does not have this avionics. Currently, only JF-17 Block 3 is under development and is equipped with helmet-mounted display and sight. Tejas has another downside. It doesn't have an external electronic jammer to jam a radar-guided missile. Without this avionics system, it would be difficult for Tejas to save itself from the Beyond Visual Range missile. The JF-17 has a jammer. In the case of aerial combat, the JF-17 has a chance to win against Tejas. To resolve this issue, Tejas Mark 1A version will have an external jammer, and the Mark 1 version will be upgraded to use an external jammer. For long-range combat, JF-17 uses PL-12 missile with a range of 70 to 100 km, but it needs constant guidance and due to smaller radar cross-section of Tejas, the JF-17 can lock on Tejas at that distance. On the other hand, Tejas uses two BVRs, IWBER and Astra Mark I, both having fire and forget capabilities and a range of 100 kilometers. Due to high radar cross-section of the JF-17, it is likely that Tejas will hit the JF-17 first. JF-17 also integrated with Chinese anti-ship missile CS-02, so it can perform naval strike mission, which Tejas cannot do at present. If the BrahMos NG missile is successfully integrated, it is clear that the Tejas will have superior strength to its Pakistan counterparts. On the other hand, there is also an opinion that the JF-17 can avoid aerial combat with Tejas simply by flying higher than Tejas. The unit price of the JF-17 is estimated at about $25 million for the Block 2 version. The general version is about $28 million. Tejas Mark I costs about $25 million. That means both planes are cheap, but the maintenance cost and production capacity of each size will be problematic. Since most of the JF-17's hardware originated from China, it is likely that it will be even cheaper if the production volume is large enough. The maintenance cost of the JF-17 will also be cheaper than that of Tejas. Because the Western avionics system is not only superior, the procurement and maintenance costs are also much higher than from China. Political ties will make it more difficult for Tejas to export. China's accompanying weapons are also much cheaper. Currently, there are about 132 JF-17s in service of 3 countries, mainly Pakistan, the other 2 countries Myanmar and Nigeria. Meanwhile, due to taking too long to develop, Tejas has only produced 33 aircraft and is serving only the Indian Air Force. Clearly, the JF-17 is winning commercially. Another JF-17 victory over Tejas is experience. The JF-17 entered service in 2008 and operational from 2011. Therefore, its operating hours are much higher than Tejas. These true fighters haven't had a chance to go head-to-head in a real fight, so it's hard to be sure which side will be the winner. In addition to technical factors, the ability of those who use them determines the victory of each side. In my opinion, Tejas is technically slightly better than the JF-17, as it is using Western platforms, which are supposed to be better than from China. But the JF-17 also has its advantages. It is a promising platform for countries with limited defense budgets. Commercially, the JF-17 is the undisputed winner. The video comparing JF-17 and Tejas ends here. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again.